Today's episode of WTF is sponsored by Men of a Certain Age on TNT. Catch a new episode tonight, Monday, January 3rd, and next Monday, January 10th. Check your local listings for times only on TNT. Good show. Fuck, I love that show.
Lock the gate!
Are we doing this? Really? Wait for it. Are we doing this? Wait for it. Pow! What the fuck?
WTF.
And it's also, what the fuck? What's wrong with me? It's time for WTF. What the fuck?
With Marc Maron.
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers? What the fuck buddies? What the fucking ears? What the fucking knots? What the fuck nicks? What the fuck? Happy New Year. That's right. Happy New Year. We made it. We've arrived. It's 2011. Who knew? I know some of you are thinking, this is it. This is the last year. We've only got two more. What's going to happen in 2012 when the Mayan calendar explodes in our minds? Nothing. Nothing any different will happen other than a bunch of people struggling to think that the next year is going to be the year or at least better. When I got to be honest with you. Look, when people say Happy New Year to me, my first thought is that is too much pressure, man. Happy New Year. I can barely be optimistic about tomorrow. I'm rarely in the present because I'm a few beats behind it or ahead of it. So for today's episode, I couldn't really think of a better way to start the new year than to talk to Bobby Lee because he has overcome obstacles. And some of them are quite disturbing, though funny, but I thought it would be an uplifting way to start the new year. So today we're going to talk to Bobby Lee from MADtv, if you don't know him. Before I get everything rolling here out of my brain and mouth, I just want to say I will be at the Sacramento Punchline this weekend. That is January 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Sacramento Punchline if you're up in that area. Am I there the 10th? I don't know. Go check. I do want to thank, let me see who sent this to me, because I've been steered this way before. Lila or Leela. I get books from you guys, and this is New Year's. I got this, just last week. The Power of Now, a guide to spiritual enlightenment by Eckhart Tolle. Now, I've been given the texts, the MP3s of Eckhart Tolle. I couldn't listen to him. The Power of Now. How about the power of pow! I just shit my pants. That's right, 2011. JustCoffee.coop, available at WTFpod.com. Go do it. It's so good. It is so fucking good. I tell you, I give this to all my guests who come to the house, and some of them have become addicted to it. Good coffee. So outside of the power of pow, how about the power of now? I will continue to look at this book on my desk for a while. I hope you had a good year, a good New Year's Eve. I don't do much. I generally don't work. I think this is actually the third New Year's Eve I've spent alone. New Year's Eve I have a tradition now, and I'm going to share this tradition with you. Now, I don't know where you grew up or what you did or whether or not you could drive or at what point you drove at, but I grew up in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We had our driver's licenses when we were about 15 years old. So we were out there sitting in front of liquor stores, getting people to buy us booze and driving around wasted at 15, getting into trouble. Not really, just driving around to where other kids were driving around. And then you park and you get out and you go, so what's up? And they're like, not much, man. You going to go to that thing? I don't know. All right. Well, I'll see you. Are you going to drive back around here later? Yeah, we're just going to make the rounds to the other places where people, hang out and talk in the parking lot. All right. Well, we'll probably see you around. Okay. So that was my high school. And it always seemed to me on New Year's Eve, and this actually lasted all the way probably up to a few years ago, if that's possible. Maybe not. Maybe high school and college. Always what happened is you'd be someplace, you'd be wasted, you'd be on your way to getting wasted, you'd be at a party or with people at about 11:30, 11:35, and then you decide that, fuck, we got to get to that other party. We got to get to that other place where people are having more fun than here. We got to get to that place where that dude's going to be so we can get that thing, and then we can really have fun. We got to get to that place that's going to be the best place ever on New Year's. And I don't know how many times, but I got to tell you, most of them, at 11:59 and 50 seconds, I was counting down in a car en route to a place we thought would be better. Now, if that isn't a fucking metaphor for life, I don't know what is. If we could just get to that place, man, everything's going to be okay. So what I've decided to do, and I'm fairly conscious of it, in honor of my past expectations about everything, I like to spend New Year's at midnight in a car alone driving home. May sound sad, but for me, it is a victory. No expectations, just time passing. I don't count it down. I don't know even... Quite honestly, I didn't have a watch. I know there's a clock in my car, but it's 5 or 6 minutes fast. I'm not clear on exactly how fast. I didn't do the math. So really, it just went by me. And I just sort of casually drove into the new year with a limited amount of acknowledgement, got home, had a bowl of cereal. I know you're thinking, sounds a little sad, sounds a little lonely, Mark. No, it wasn't. Because I was in it. I was like, dude, it's just another day. This is the power of now. It's okay. You wake up, lower your expectations. Try to change a few things that you can. Be a fucking grown-up. That's my only resolution this year. Be a fucking grown-up. You want me to explain that? I had to do a very difficult thing a few weeks ago. I haven't been able to really talk about it. I'm not sure how much I want to talk about it. Even though I talk about everything, I had to choose against my crazy fucking heart in order to protect myself and my sanity. You know what that's called? Being a fucking grown-up. Got to take care of some shit. Knowing your own limitations, knowing from years of being alive and making so many goddamn mistakes that I can't do everything I want to do, that after a certain point, I'm going to hurt myself. That's my New Year's resolution. Try not to hurt myself. God damn it, how come this got so grim? That was not the plan. I'm thrilled that it's a new year. I'm thrilled to be doing more WTFs. A lot of good guests coming up. Already did some interviews. Good times. This is going to be a good year for you, for me, for people we know, perhaps. See, that's that kind of blind optimism that I can't deal with. Hey, this is going to be the year. Is it? Let me look at this book. Let me just turn to one fucking page in this book. Okay, let's just do it spontaneously. All right, we're going to do the Power of Now power exercise. I don't know this book. Frankly, I find Eckhart Tolle annoying. So let's just flip it open. Stop. Please examine where your attention is at this moment. Okay, I'm in it. You are listening to me or you are reading these words in a book that is the focus of your attention. Fine. You are also peripherally aware of your surroundings. Right. Books, clutter, coffee cup, other people. There's no one here, but there's some people in my mind, and so on. Right. Okay, those people. Furthermore, there may be some mind activity around you that you are hearing or reading some mental commentary. Yes, there is. I'm on a microphone commenting on reading this book for the first time in a spontaneous way. Yet, there is no need for any of us to absorb all your attention. I don't understand that at all. See if you can be in touch with your inner body at the same time. Okay, so I'm reading this, I'm talking about reading it, and I'm feeling my guts. Keep some of your attention within. All right, I'm focusing on my just beneath between my belly button and my cock. Don't let it flow out. No, I can't. That would be bad. I have to go to the bathroom. Feel your whole body from within as a single field of energy. Okay. It is almost as if you were listening or reading with your whole body. Let this be your practice in the days and weeks to come. Oh, my God. Look, we'll do the best we can. As I said at the beginning of the show, this episode is sponsored by Men of a Certain Age on TNT. That's Ray Romano's show. You remember I talked to Ray Romano and Mike Royce about the creation and the process of doing that show, and I'm a huge fan of this show. I know a lot of you know Ray Romano from Everybody Loves Raymond, and I think your expectations need to be shifted because this show is about real life. Maybe it resonates with me because I happen to be in that age range and dealing with this sort of midlife struggles both comedically and otherwise that I have to deal with. But it's really a unique show in that it's the balance between comedy and seriousness is something I have not seen before. I would like to tell you that season 1, all the DVDs are available now. It's on Netflix. And you can, very quickly catch up with what's going on. Thanks to Mike Royce, who got me the season 1. I saw it, but you can rent it. It's also on iTunes, and new episodes are available for download immediately after they air. So I know a lot of people are watching TV like that. I would catch up on this show. Oh, you can also, if you want, you can stream episodes on TNT TV. They're on a few days after they air. And I don't have to advertise anything on this show if I don't want to. I can certainly choose what I want to talk about, but I want to support this show because I'm sort of hooked on it. All I can say is that Men of a Certain Age is a unique television show and that you've never seen Ray Romano like this. It's really funny, but it actually is kind of real. It's touching. You know what? Just fucking watch the show. Men of a Certain Age on TNT. An episode airs tonight. That's Monday, January 3rd. And also there will be a new episode on January 10th. And just check your local listings and enjoy that show. I'm talking to Bobby Lee.
I don't know how to put this on, man.
It should, they're fine. There you go. Put those on. Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
It's good, right?
Yeah, it's nice. Technology.
So Bobby Lee just got here, and he walked in and he said, I said, have you listened to the show? And you said...
I said, it's got good numbers.
You said you heard it's got good numbers.
Yeah.
So you never listened to the show.
Well, it's like, I mean, I've done other podcasts, like, I sometimes do Corolla.
Uh-huh.
It's not like I listen to it.
I understand. I'm not...
You know what I mean? It's like, I'm a fan of you. I like you.
I'm not judging you. I mean, who's got time?
Well, I just sometimes, because I don't know, there's a relationship that I have with you that I have with no other. which is it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like, I adore you, but then, I feel like sometimes you don't like me.
What did that look like? Is basically the same thing you're doing now? Or?
What do you mean?
I mean, what jokes?
See, this is exactly why I had a fear if I have fears.
You don't have to have fears. I'm just
no.
I'm busting your balls
because that's the thing though that
every time.
But Mark, that's the thing though that you know what I mean. Whenever I see you,
it happens.
Because the thing is that. I've seen your specials, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Even before I did stand up, I was aware of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was a fan, and the thing is that, so there is that thing, you know what I mean?
Well, let me just tell you one thing.
Yeah.
I always enjoy watching you. And the only reason I bust your balls with that particular thing, and it's always the same thing, is because I know you bust your own balls about writing new jokes. So it's the only reason that I bust your balls, because you always say you're going to try some new stuff.
Yeah.
And about 80%.
But I have lately.
I know, but 80% of the time you don't, and you get off and you look at me knowing that I'm thinking what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And that's really the only tension.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have nothing but good thoughts about you, and I want you to do well.
But I think you have a thing, though, with when people are trying to get the audience to like them, like in terms of being like trying to be too likable or too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's I want people to like me so badly on stage.
Yeah.
That I think that you don't like that about me.
No, I do like it and I understand it. But I believe that you're one of those guys that you're so naturally funny. There's very few things. It would be hard for you not to be funny up there.
That's not true, but.
No, I know, but you're the one who causes it if it happens.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen you just make decisions on stage where you assume like, you're one of those people though, if the laughs aren't like, blowing the fucking roof off, you're like, no, shit. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what? Can I say? I want to defend myself because I've been having to like headline and stuff, and I can't worry about that anymore. Really,
you just got to do the job.
Well, I can't because you do so many shows, and you know what I mean.
In a week,
and you have to do so much time.
Yeah.
That I just that's the thing that went, which is that whole paranoia because
it's hard to keep that level up, isn't it?
Yeah, even like second show on a Friday, it's like you can't control the insanity.
No, it's the worst.
It's the worst.
But I think actually, I think Saturdays have become worse because for some reason people are, I don't know if their expectations are higher, or they've been sitting around all day. Are you able to generalize it all?
Well, I just know certain markets that I can't play really. Miami,
like what?
Miami.
Why?
Because it's beach ethnic people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the weird. It's like all different types of ethnicities, but it's about 19 different types.
But
of
they all
Latino.
kind of, because of the sun, though. You know, they all kind of look the same. You know what I mean? And they have no etiquette whatsoever, I think, when it comes to shows.
Well, it's like that party vibe. It's just a big party down there.
It's awful.
I don't understand how people have a good time in general. And when they're out there, like, just it looks like there's groups of them and they've had a great day.
Yeah.
I mean, who the fuck?
I performed on a Friday night second show in Miami, and literally a couple was dancing halfway during my set. Like, standing up, dancing. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this.
Spontaneously? I mean,
I don't know. Maybe they were dancing the whole time. I mean, I wasn't aware that they were.
Was there music?
No, there's no music. You know what I mean? But my performance was so bad that because they want the Gary Owens. You know who Gary Owens is?
Was he?
He's a white, but he's black guy.
No.
There's a white guy who I'm friends with. He huge in the urban market. And he does the ghetto kind of like, he's black. Right. And they just eat that up, really.
But your stuff is pretty thoughtful. I mean, where you grew up on the beach?
What?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in San Diego, but not on the beach.
I thought that was the beach.
No, I grew up in Poway, which is like 35 minutes inland, which we never went to the beach. I mean, some people did, but it's more of back then it was more of a farming kind of community.
So your family is farmers?
No. They owned clothing stores called Fashion Gal.
Oh, really?
Back in the 80s, yeah. And they, no, it was like kind of like, there was country clubs. It was kind of rich, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a higher income.
And what did you, when did you start doing comedy?
I was 23. But what happened was, well, I've always had a drug problem. Okay, and when I was 17, I was a junior in high school. I got sober because I had a meth problem.
Has it been that long?
Well, no, I went back out. But
let's talk about this. 17, you had a meth problem. I can't even imagine you on meth. I mean, were you thinner? Were you funny on meth?
No. I was, well, on my act, I think what happened was, in my act, I talk about how a guy with Down syndrome molested me, right?
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
Your father. Do the line.
What?
You're your father.
Oh, whenever I brought girls over, he would tell that story. Like, when Bobby was a little kid, he was molested by a retarded person.
Every time.
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
I love that.
He was just not even hello or like get into like, who are you? That's like his opening line. You know what I mean? And he thought it was hilarious. Like, how could he let the guy do that to him? But anyway, I was molested by this guy, right? And ever since, so
when you were 17?
No, when I was 9, 8, 9-ish.
Okay, I was going to say 17.
So then
a little
that happened in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
And then we moved to San Diego, and then as soon as I got to San Diego, I was lost. I couldn't get good grades, and Asians really want you to have good grades.
And you think it was because of the molestation?
I don't know. I think I was born wrong. You know what I mean?
But how did? What's if you don't mind? Who was this retarded guy?
I don't know.
Why were you there?
Well, in Minnesota, I lived in Edina, and during the summers, there's ice skating rinks that are outside.
Right.
But during the summer, they're like grass, just fields of grass, right? So there was one by my house that had this guy with Down syndrome who mowed the lawn. You know what I mean? During the summers, right? And he had a shack, which he lived in. Like, it was a single bed.
Right.
And he had all these rafters in this shack.
Right.
And he had candy up there.
Yeah.
And I guess he would lure kids in. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like he stuck his finger. Can you get, how detailed can you?
As detailed as you want.
Well, it's not like he fucked, had sex with you, you know what I mean? But, he would fondle your genitals and stuff like that. But I went there for the candy. You know what I mean? And I went,
you got so much more.
I got so much more. Yeah. Yeah. It was a fiesta. But the thing is that I, would keep coming back for the candy. Because I didn't care about the
genital.
I think that's where my addiction started, maybe.
Oh, so I see. So the shame of it was like, as you got older, that to sort of try to reconcile this idea that you would keep going back for candy, even though this mentally disabled person would play with your balls. It caused you a little shattering in the sense of
But
self.
I think it's even deeper than that. I think it's just that I just want this fix, you know what I mean? And I'll do anything I can. and I don't care what the consequences are.
Right.
I just want what I want.
So when you got to San Diego, you were lost.
It turned into meth.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I met pot, the gateway, and then cigarettes, pot, then back then there was no really heroin in Poway. It was more meth and,
You're lucky.
And LSD.
In a way.
Like yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So, like, did you get really fucking strung out? Like,
really bad, yeah. I stole like $15,000 from my parents' safe, bought a bunch of drugs, and I ran away from home for a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just one of those kids that, like, I don't know. I was
Were you
lost.
angry? Because you seem like such a sweet guy now.
Well, I'm, sober again for almost 8 years. So
Yeah.
I think that has something to do with it.
So you stayed sober for how long?
There at 12-ish.
Did you go to rehab?
Yeah.
Oh,
went
so
to
you did the whole
McDonald's
thing.
Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went to this place called Ocean View. I went to 2 in high school.
Yeah.
And then stayed sober. And then when I got on MADtv, I relapsed.
On what?
At the Valium at first, and
Yeah.
then it turned into like a 30 Vicodin
Holy
a day
shit.
addiction. Yeah.
You must have been like were you crawling around?
No,
30 Vicodin.
no, you build to that.
You
start
got to
off with
work
that.
up to
Yeah,
it?
you work up to it.
So what was it about? Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute. So you're fucked up. You're all cranked out. Your parents, or you're fighting with your parents over this.
Yeah.
They probably hate you. Though your father seems pretty funny, but not necessarily the most.
No, back then,
understanding.
no, he was not funny.
No.
No, I mean, they're traditional Korean people, so they, if you get a C on your report card, you get hit. You know what I mean?
I've talked to a couple of Koreans. That's really true.
Yeah,
There's
true,
a pressure.
Yeah, there's a pressure. But then but most Koreans, when they get hit, when they get a C,
Yeah.
kids, right, they change their attitude and they get straight A's. But I went the other way, you know.
But aren't they fucked up grown-ups? Aren't they like, kind of control freaky, perfectionist, sort of self-hating grown-ups?
Who? Like,
No, I mean
Koreans
like
in general?
Yeah, I mean who with
Well-
that type of discipline.
Well, I have this thing where it's like, okay, remember like when, in Virginia Tech, when Cho Sung-wi shut up the school, right?
Yeah.
See, I blame that on the parents, his parents.
Uh-huh.
Because he got good grades, you know what I mean? He was talking to invisible people.
Mm-hmm.
He had no friends at all. He was like a weirdo, right? He had massive problems.
Yeah.
But they didn't address those problems because he got good grades and he was going to college, right?
Right.
So I blame his behavior and him shooting up that school kind of on his parents because if you notice, when that shit happened, his parents,
Yeah.
they went straight to Korea.
Yeah.
They disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Out of shame.
You can't find an interview with them. They haven't justified. You know what I mean? Why?
Well, he was clearly sick.
Yeah, but the
Probably
thing is that when you have a
schizophrenic.
kid that has sick, he should be on medication.
Right.
And he should be,
I
there
see,
should be some
right.
sort of, intervention in some way, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which they didn't do.
Right.
And in many ways, Korean parents in general, I don't generalize it, but in a lot of Korean parents view their kids as trophies in many ways. Like they, if they get good grades, they're fine, you know what I mean? But they don't really care about how good their kid is as a person, you know what I
Right.
mean?
So is that a community thing? Was there a big Korean community
Well, I
down there?
think, I don't know. I mean, it's just my theory.
No, I mean in Poway, were there other Korean families?
Yeah, there are. I have cousins and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we all went through.
So you got the shit beaten out of you and you didn't change?
Well, it stopped eventually because I would fight back. You know
Really?
what I mean? Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, one time this is so bad. One time I ran away from home and my mom, I was gone for like a week and I was like 16, and I had to come back home to get clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my mom I didn't know my mom was home. I snuck in the house, right? And my mom was sleeping on my bed crying because I'd been gone for a week.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just beat the shit out of her.
Oh my God.
I know, it was awful. I was so loaded, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just hit her in the face like a bunch of times. Like she was bleeding. Yeah, I mean, I was an awful kid, you know?
How old were you then? 15?
16.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
But then right after that, at 17, I got clean, And then obviously I stayed at home until I was 21. I made my amends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you go back to school and finish up? And
I went to junior college and I dropped out, and then I just moved out and I moved to La Jolla. And I worked at a coffee shop at 22, and right next to the coffee shop was a comedy store.
that vine-covered building.
Yeah.
It's like the earth is trying to take it back. It's San Diego's this beautiful beach town. And you walk into the comedy store down there, which is completely covered in ivy.
Ivy, yeah.
And you walk in, and it's like, oh my God, she's brought the darkness here.
Yeah, but there's also like the blackness behind the ivy, because the walls, so it makes it look like mythological and very
It is
creepy.
mythological.
Yeah.
Now, when you got, so you started doing open mics there?
Yeah.
And they took to you. Who's the first one?
Fred Burns, do you remember him?
Who?
He had spinal bifida, And he was on crutches. He was the manager there for years.
I never did La Jolla. My history with the Comedy Store is very intense and it's very short at a specific period in its history.
Yeah, you worked at Door though, right?
I worked at Door in 87.
87, yeah.
But like I didn't hang in because I lost my mind on drugs within a year.
Yeah.
But because there was so much going on then, you know, I sort of got integrated into the mythology of the place. But I was one of those people that believed it. But you know, it's only to a certain people. Like, you know, some people look at the Comedy Store, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with those freaks over there?
Yeah,
some people won't even go near the place.
Right.
And then there are those people that never leave the place.
Yeah.
I think that not unlike you, it seems that like there's a certain type of wayward soul that wants to get into comedy, but also really needs the structure, some sort of dark parental structure.
Yeah, like a Sith Lord.
Yeah. Like regular people that are mildly well adjusted, they don't fucking hang out at the Comedy Store.
Right.
You know, but all these freaks and weirdos and people, like, it's interesting. You come from that background and somehow or another you find your way into this pit of darkness.
Yeah.
And then you become really a product of the store. Like when I was there, I was sort of half observing and I never locked in completely, but I definitely felt that like this was home. You know, that like I would go there during the day, I'd make coffee, I'd listen to CDs in the OR.
Yeah.
I was living in Crest Hill.
Yeah.
It just seems like all my needs were being met by this weird witch of a woman who was at the top of this pyramid who you rarely saw, but she would talk to you through 3 or 4 people who were trying to interpret her fucking insanity.
Yeah.
But you grew to really be afraid of her.
Yeah. I mean, she still instills that fear in me. You know what I mean?
And then when she walks in, you're always like, hi, Mitzi. And you're like,
yeah.
And you almost don't want to be seen. Like, I remember she'd come and you, like, sometimes you try to avoid seeing her because you never knew when she was going to go, you can't work here anymore.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason at all.
And she has like 19 shawls and like scarves all over her head. You know what I mean?
She told me I should wear a scarf. She said, you're a poet. You should wear a scarf. So like for 3 weeks, I was wearing a fucking scarf.
She used to do that, right? Change people. Like that's what happened to Carlos, right? She changed his name. You know, he came in as Ned Wholeness, and she goes, "You're Carlos Mencia."
He made. There's, I don't remember what the story was, but all right. So you're in La Jolla. You start doing comedy.
Yeah.
You're sober, and what was that moment where you realized this is the fucking shit? I mean, did you just like did you always have an idea?
I always had. No, when I showed up there, no one liked locally. In fact, I still have enemies down there.
Oh, because there was a local comedy scene.
Yeah, there's a local comedy scene,
and you won.
Well, I didn't win. They hate me. I mean,
you rose up quickly, and so they.
Yeah, I mean, I rose. I became a regular pretty fast, and I didn't have a lot of friends down there.
Why?
Well, there was this guy named Wally Wong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like this Asian comic that had been there for 20 years. He's awful.
Yeah.
Nice guy. You know what I mean?
Sure, awful. Nice guy.
Nice guy. He's just not good. And I did a show after 6 months of doing it. I got invited to do Make Me Laugh, which was on Comedy Central when they first did it, right?
Right. The remake of Make Me Laugh.
Yeah, the remake.
Yeah.
And Mark Cohen was the host back then, yeah. And I had maybe 5 minutes of material, bro. And I went on the show, and they kept calling on me, right? The contestants.
Yeah.
So by the 4th time, I didn't take one of Wally's jokes. It was like a hacky premise. That I kind of changed at the moment.
What was it?
Obviously it's so hacky. It was basically, his joke was, Asian people look alike. You know, my family shared one ID.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My joke was, you know, Asian people look alike. Right? I had my grandmother go to school for me. You know what I mean? She went to prom. She got laid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of extended it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sort of a different joke.
But it's still the same premise.
Yeah.
Well, he told everyone, you know, he made a big stink that I'm a thief.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I apologized. He didn't talk to me. You know what I mean? And then I just soon after that, I moved up to.
It's interesting about stealing in that situation because that happens more so than not. That, you know, when somebody makes a decision to eat, because you were obviously aware of it, and it really isn't that the same joke. And you're right, it is a fairly standard premise. But I've heard that before of guys who get opportunities that they're maybe not ready for yet, and they've only got so much material, and then all of a sudden they're stuck. And all they know is to, you know, go for the joke in their mind that works.
Yeah, I was desperate, dude. I was literally, I remember sweating, going, I don't have anything clean. Like, I only have 5 minutes. I don't know what to do, right? So I remember hearing him tell that joke, and I just switched it in my mind, going, it's okay.
Sure.
To do that. And, I mean, you know how I'm a guilt-ridden person. So I did it, and you know, obviously the ride home was the worst. And then I had made my amends, you know,
because you're beating yourself up about it.
Yeah, and I did the right thing. I apologized to the guy. I go, you know, I was on this thing, you know, this and that, and everyone just didn't.
But
love
there's
it.
that weird line with comics, like there's like some it's an unforgivable transgression, and it sort of hangs over you. It's good that it didn't hang over you forever, but you're so fucking self-conscious. So you wouldn't.
You have to be
happen.
aware of it.
A guy I know up in Kirkland, Washington, some black dude I work with had the best take on that one. He was a black guy, and he was talking about how the way, I can't remember the setup of the joke, but the way he stopped thinking that all Asians look alike. Was like he's got this one Asian friend named Steve.
Yeah.
And he realized one day when he saw some other Asians, he's like, hey, you're not Steve. And that's,
That's funny. That's funny.
yeah, that's how he realized.
That's funny.
I thought that was a good one. So, all right. So, how long before you got MADtv? So you started when you were 23, and you did the Make Me Laugh in what, like within 2 years?
You're very good at this.
What?
Just this whole process.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're on it.
Well, no, we're just having a conversation,
No, I know,
and I'm
but-
getting to know you. I don't know that much about you, and it's always so weird and tense. And I've been I've been sort of a dick to you only because you're cute and you respond just the way I want you to. You get all weird and squirrely.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Okay.
But I won't do it anymore. But
No, you can, Mark, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
But there's been a couple times where you're like, I don't have to deal with this anymore. Like you literally said to me, like, I'm not going to fucking, you got mad at me. Like I hurt you.
Yeah, because I know. I mean, you come from. I know. I mean, I don't know you a great deal, but I know enough to know that you're a good guy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like, that's that.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like I've been reading up on this shit because like I'm recently hitting some other sort of bottom with relationships,
Mm-hmm.
like Al-Anon and shit, and codependency, and like just what a freak I am.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's this thing that people do that are like you're insecure or want to take control of a dynamic very quickly.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like take a little shot to put the other person on the defensive. And,
Yeah.
and basically it's breaking through your boundaries. When I do that to you, when I say sort of like any new stuff,
Yeah.
like I'm like inside your head like immediately. And
Because
like,
you're good in that way.
Yeah, I know, but it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a great talent to have. I mean, it's not like some sort of gift.
I know, but I know what you're doing now. You know what I mean? In the beginning, I didn't know. I go, oh, but I just had a conversation with Mark that was very pleasant last week.
And now he's
then
a
he
dick.
comes in and says something like, you're a strong feature, or something like, whatever you might say. You know what I mean?
I'm such an ass.
And then you're like, oh.
Why'd he hurt me?
No, it's
Well, and
funny.
also, I get in a bad mood when I go over there. It makes me very fucking nervous. No matter how much success I get in my life, if I go into the Comedy Store
Yeah.
and I see the back wall and just sort of like, it's like, oh my God, why am I still fighting this fight?
But you're a fixture there now.
Kinda. I mean, I try. I don't go as often. All it takes, if I have one shitty set there,
Yeah.
and I can't come back for 3 weeks because I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to give that place any sort of leverage over my sense of self.
Yeah.
Right, because you can do a few sets there, and if you do like 2 weeks in a row there, you can easily walk away thinking like I'm no good at this anymore. Something's gone wrong.
Yeah, but it helps. I think it helps though in many ways. I think it helps in many ways in terms of like, you know what I mean? You go
Like
out,
a gym, yeah, like a gym.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. So what you did make me laugh at 24.
Yeah.
Now, how quick did the opportunity for MADtv come?
Oh, years later. I lived in Silver Lake with 7 guys in 1-bedroom apartment. My
Anyone
brother
we
lived
know?
One guy, he slept there many times. Wee Man from Jackass back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would spend the night. A lot of skaters spent the night. They called it the dumpster
In Silver Lake?
in Silver Lake. Yeah,
Wow,
it was
and-
on Sanborn, which later Natasha Leggero and Duncan moved into that building. You know what I mean? And also a bunch of MADtv moved in when I. Anyway,
Bunch of skater. Wee Man, the little person?
yeah.
And so you had a little person hanging around?
We had a little person. We had a guy named Hippie Dave, which was a 55-year-old hippie who slept in the living room. Long hair, dreads, incense. And then we had a 16-year-old runaway girl named Sophie, a blonde who from Beverly Hills. She had ran away from home, and she was on meth. And
She ran
lived,
Crosstown.
and she lived in our apartment.
So there's a lot of drugs there.
Yeah, I was sober though at the time. My
A
brother.
lot of drinking and drugs. And this is like, that's a classic Hollywood freak show setup.
Yeah.
You have people that were kind of in the business and then like riffraff,
Yeah, skaters. You know what I mean? Poets.
shit being stolen.
No.
No? It
We
was
had
cool?
nothing to steal. There was no TV, nothing. And my brother had built a Cambodian kind of like a makeshift house inside my closet with bamboo and stuff. You know what I mean? He lived there for years. You know what I mean?
You lived in your closet?
Yeah, he lived in my closet. He had made like shelving. It was unbelievable. You know what I mean?
And there was a bed?
Yeah, he had like this little IKEA little setup in there. You know what I mean? And then I had a girlfriend, Amy, who lived there too. For
In
a
the
while.
closet?
No, she lived in my room, but he lived in the closet. It was awful, bro. And we were so broke that because Mitzi didn't put me up for years. So then what happened was one day I got a commercial agent. Mm-hmm. This a Korean dude named Lawrence, who I'm still with.
Yeah.
And he would send, because when I first got to this into this commercial agency, they would only send me in for Asian or ethnic parts.
Yeah.
So when Lawrence became an agent, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm putting Bobby in just I'm submitting him for everything."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went in for this thing that they wanted for just a white guy.
Yeah.
So I went in and I got it, and it paid me so much money. It changed everything.
Really?
Yeah. It was an IBM spot.
Uh-huh.
And it paid me so much money that I left my brother in the hut. I did. I left him there, and I moved downstairs because they had started renovating the apartments downstairs, and so I moved into a different apartment.
So you moved out of into a different unit.
But they had hardwooden floors. They exposed the brick. It was really nice.
And your brother was upstairs in the
in
closet?
the Cambodian closet.
And who was in your old room?
Callisto, my other roommate, had moved in there.
So your brother didn't even get to make the jump to the room?
No. Because he has to get a job. He didn't get a job.
So you're busting his balls like your parents busted yours.
Well, no, he was upstairs.
Okay.
I know he's upstairs. You know what I mean?
But
I didn't abandon him.
So it's like punishment. You stay in the hut,
The dude was 25 years old. It's not like he was 15.
living in the closet.
Yeah. He's little. He's a little dude.
What's he doing now?
He lives in L.A.
Not in the
He
closet.
he works for like a key maker.
Okay. You didn't help him out?
No, he works for, I help him out all the time.
Okay.
I pay for his cell phone, dude. You know what I mean? Whenever he wants a dinner, I pay for it. I help him out.
Okay.
Yeah. Like whenever I go on like cool, I went to Korea 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I got a gig out there.
Yeah.
And I flew him out there. I
Yeah.
mean, he has a good life. He has a good life.
You
I'm not bad, brother.
You went to Korea?
I shot a music video with this Asian female pop group.
Oh, you talk about it on stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's a funny joke you
thank
do.
you.
I like watching you, dude.
You're so kind.
No, I do.
I like it. I love it.
I always get a kick out of it.
So then after that, I got mad. After I got the IBM commercial.
And then
I got the Tonight Show. I'm Leno.
after the commercial.
Like you know what happened was, this guy named Jason Galern, a month before I got the IBM commercial, Deepak Chopra was in Rolling Stone magazine. They did like an article about him.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to try to get spiritual here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my friend Jason Galern says, "Dude, I'm getting into Deepak Chopra," and I
Yeah.
had no money. I was broke. So I go, you know what? I'll give it a try. So I got the book 7 Spiritual Laws of Success.
Yeah.
After I got the book, a week later, I was playing La Jolla, and there was a girl in the front row.
Yeah.
Her name was Katie.
Yeah.
Okay. And on stage, I go, "Oh my God, it's Katie. I used to work with her at a restaurant." So after the show, she said she works for Deepak Chopra, right?
Yeah.
Like right after I got this book, right?
Yeah.
So then the next day, I went to the Deepak Chopra Learning Center or whatever, and I got to meet him, right?
Yeah.
She was his assistant.
Yeah.
And then he got me another book that he had written. I forgot what it was, but
Was it handwritten? Like he's like, would you read over
no,
this?
no,
Oh, it's a published book.
yeah, it's a published book.
Okay.
And then I started practicing the things in the thing.
Like, what does that mean, practicing? Lay it on me. I need fucking help.
Well, you know, there's a theory in the book where it's like, in order for you to achieve success is to help other people achieve success. Right? So, you know, I got, you know, Ari Shaffir, Mike Black, all these younger comics back then signed to the agency.
Ari did very well.
Yeah, I got him, you know, Lawrence signed him, Mike Black, a bunch of guys that did very well, you know what I mean? And as soon as I started becoming positive, trying to get people stage time, like I brought Rena Zizzi to the Comedy Store.
He's done very well, too.
Yeah. I brought him to the store. I brought Kevin Christie to the store.
He's funny.
Yeah, so I started behaving in that way where I'm trying to help people.
Yeah.
And then soon after, things just started coming to me, like really immediately.
Oh, okay. And so that worked for you. Was there other things? Or was that the main one?
What do you mean?
Other Deepak Chopra-isms that worked for you?
Oh, I mean, it's like meditating, sitting in silence.
Do you
know
do
what I mean?
that?
The law of yeah.
Every day?
Yeah.
How long?
I breathe in the mornings. I wake up in the mornings. I sit. I breathe.
Walk
I
me
try to
through it,
think-
because like I can't tell you, literally no less than 10 people in the last month have told me to fucking meditate.
It works, dude.
How do I do it?
Well, the thing is that a thought is a bubble, right? I think of your thoughts as a bubble. That's what I do, right?
Okay, yeah.
So I sit there because, I mean, I'm thought master.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I have 1,000 thoughts running through my mind, right?
Yeah.
And the thoughts aren't.
I'm thinking about you thinking right now.
Yeah, but but the thoughts aren't you. It's just it's an organ. Your brain is an organ.
Just fucking
and it
going
just
at it.
behaves,
Firing
in a
off.
certain way,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's coming from you, right? It's just your brain doing its thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I sit
Just
there.
like my stomach's digesting food.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm breathing. I breathe, right? Well, I breathe like that, sure. And I breathe.
No certain way, like through your nose.
Yeah, I breathe through my nose. I blow it out of my mouth, right? And when the thoughts come to my mind, I pop them like it's a bubble,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, God, this is stupid. Pop.
Pop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Pop.
What?
Wait,
That's what it goes. Like,
I'm
that's
doing
what-
it. I'm just
but
doing
then,
it.
all
And
right,
it's sort of like,
so
why is my mom yelling at me? Pop. I'm not fat, Pop.
yeah, right. And eventually your brain slows down. Mine does. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you just think, and then all of a sudden there's a void. Mm-hmm. You know, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't do it. There's always thoughts. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can't.
yeah.
I don't do it perfectly.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Can't.
I don't think there's perfection really in it unless you hit nirvana or whatever. But the thing is that I slow my brain enough, right, where the thoughts come, you know what I mean, sporadically.
Yeah.
Right? And there are moments of complete silence.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in that silence, I mean, you drop, you know what I mean, intentions.
What does that mean?
What?
You drop intentions?
Yeah.
Oh, that means all the things that are pride driven or success driven or things that come from fundamental insecurities disappear.
That, and also you drop little things of things that you want in life.
Oh, you drop them in.
Yes.
Okay, so
In a pool of nothingness.
so you're there in the void
Yeah.
after popping your thought.
I sound so hippie-ish. Huh?
No, you don't. And that's not hippie-ish.
weird.
It's not hippie-ish because it's
I
you.
have to do it though.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure I understand. You breathe. You sit still. You pop a lot of thought bubbles.
Yeah.
And after you've popped a lot of bubbles, if you're
Yeah.
lucky, you hit the void.
Yeah. Like
And
I hope I don't get molested by another guy with Down syndrome. Pop. That's like stuff
Okay,
like
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's the void,
Uh-huh.
and then you have your intentions.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to throw them into the pool.
Yeah.
And then that's a good thing,
Yeah.
as long as the intentions are good.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't throw things like in the pool, like I wish Mark would die.
No.
Oh.
That's negative.
So no negativity.
I try no negativity. The thing, Mark, the whole thing about things, because I'm in 12-step programs, is to help other people. And that's it. Too. You know what I mean? So in the combination of meditating, and if you go out of your way every day to try to, and without taking credit for it even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole thing I was talking about Renazizi and all that stuff. I mean, I just made a point. You know what I mean?
No, I know what you're saying,
know what I mean?
because
But-
I feel like for the first time in my life, whether it's voluntary or not, because of this podcast, I'm actually reaching out to people.
Yeah.
And I'm reaching out in a good way.
Uh-huh.
And it's not necessarily, it wasn't why I got into it, but it seems to be happening.
Yeah.
You know, I think my intentions were kind of selfish initially, but now I'm very aware of who's listening and why they're listening. And I want to help people.
Yeah.
And that's making me feel good. But like, what about, okay, how do you balance out the things? Like, okay, so you're a positive guy, you're doing the meditation, we're throwing intentions into the void pool, and you're doing,
keep going.
You're doing the 12 steps,
Yeah.
and you're making the amends, and you're fucking being righteous, doing the service stuff, and then all of a sudden, a girl comes into your life that you like a lot, but it's not going to work out, and you have to break up with her, and she's very upset and mad at you, and now she's out there hating on you. What can I throw her into the pool? In a good way? No, I mean, like pray or something. Or,
Well, the thing is, okay, well, let's get back
because
to...
you're like a guy that you have girlfriends and you have.
I have a girlfriend now. It's been over a year.
And you have people that don't like you.
The many people.
And you've probably done some bad shit.
I've done some bad shit.
Okay, so what happens?
What do you mean?
How does it balance out?
The thing is that your intentions, like when I was going out with Christine, when I first started dating her, right?
Yeah.
My problem is I dive into things, you know what I mean, because she's sexy. You know what I mean? Like in any girl, right?
No, I know.
Like,
I'm the
just-
same way. Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is that because I'm 39, right? And what I tried to do this time.
You look good, though.
Thank you. But what I try to do this time is I go, what is my intention?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When it comes to this woman, you know what I mean? Do I really like her? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Is she compatible with me? Right? So with Christine, the girlfriend I have now, those things weighed deeply rather than, she's very beautiful.
But there's no craziness into it. You've gotten past your crazy. Like, I had good intentions and I really have a lot of feelings for this person. But then, like, I just realized, like, I got a lot of work to do on myself because this is going to crazy land.
They're all crazy. It's all crazy land. That's what it is. That's what relationships is.
No, it can't. What?
That's what it is. I'll give you an example, all right? I was with Christine. I go, what do you want to do? She goes, let's watch a documentary, because she knows I love documentaries, right?
Yeah.
And we watched this one. I let her choose it, right? It was Babies.
Babies? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is the worst documentary I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
I wanted to call the company and get my babysitting money. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. I felt like it was work watching it. So the thing is, that's a joke. I'm so sorry. But the thing is that after the documentary, right, I watched it and I look over at Christine, right, and she's pouting on the couch. I go, what the? Why are you sad?
Yeah.
She's like, during that whole movie, you didn't pay attention to me once.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's insanity.
Right.
Right? But that's what they do.
All of them?
Yes. Huh. You know what I mean? And so it's like, being a man and being, logical, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And when someone says something like that, you're just like, your first reaction is, are you fucking out of your mind?
Yeah.
We're watching a fucking movie.
Right.
You wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have to accept that that's what they do. They need constant attention.
I was trying to do that, but I don't want to talk about it.
Why?
Because it's not. I'm upset about it, and
you broke up with her. Why are you upset?
Because the reason I did was because I was afraid of myself, that the intensity of the anger and the intensity of the dynamic, like, I've been through a marriage that was very destructive.
Yeah, I remember.
And I did nothing to remedy that. Mm-hmm. So after 3 or 4 years, the first woman that I actually feel, engaged with, all the same insanity's coming back.
Can I ask which one? Because I've seen you over the years after, your marriage. There was that dark-haired girl. Remember?
No, this is just the last one.
Yeah, she's really cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got afraid for myself. I got afraid for her. Like, you get into those dynamics where, like, she's doing things that trigger me. I'm triggering her. And there's no, like, I'm not trusting, and I'm just going crazy. And I'm like, I'm not fucking ready for this. And I've got to fucking, get some help around this shit.
Why can't you work through it while dating her?
Because I don't know if I'm capable with this stuff where you start worrying about them, like, hey, if I'm going to do the work, are you going to do the work? And if you're not going to do, then all of a sudden you're worrying about them. I don't know how not to do that.
Yeah,
and that's that other shit. That's that codependent shit. It's like you're sitting around, not, instead of thinking about yourself, you're thinking about them and how they're fucking with you, or how they're fucking up, or how they're.
But how are they I don't understand how they're fucking with you. What do you mean? Give me an example.
Well, I'm just paranoid. I have a hard time with trust.
Okay. Mark, why can't you do this? Okay. Why can't you live in the moment, first of all?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is what I do, right? When I'm in a relationship with a girl, I think of the future constantly. Is this somebody, right, that I'm going to have children with, you know what I mean, and in a stable relationship? Is this
you think
going to grow? No, that's your natural, you know what I mean, thought process.
No, I know, I did.
But instead of doing that, I try to just go, you know what? Relax, okay? Be in the moment with her, all right? Because it's your mind, right, that creates all these things.
Yeah, but the thing is, Bobby, is this like not unlike fucking drugs or anything else, is that my weird control issues and my jealousy and all that stuff that makes me a crazy person. When I like somebody, even if it's just a friend, doesn't even have to be a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like if it was out of control. And there was nothing that she could do to help that. So I got to help myself. So I had to fucking pull out.
So how did she take it when you left?
It was horrible. It's all horrible. And I can't even really talk about it.
Yeah. I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how you do that.
But what happened to your last relationship?
I get to the point in relationships where she has to leave first.
It's a horrible thing, and it's the hardest thing, I can do, or anyone can do. But some people don't have any problem at all. But lately, I just, it fucking got scary. And not scary because, like, I was afraid of commitment or this, that, or the other thing. Just scary because, the anger and weirdness and the jealousy and then the fighting that came up. I'm like, there was this moment where I'm like, I can't be this guy anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not her fault.
Yeah.
It's just the dynamic that happens.
Is the jealousy, grounded in some sort of truth, though?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
You know, just it's just insecurity.
It's in your head again.
But like I thought I was over this shit, and and like literally I was having these moments where I'm a fucking old man. I can't be this guy.
How old are you now?
47.
God, you look great too.
Thanks. I just want to try to be mature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to start fucking popping thought bubbles and throwing intentions into the void pool.
Let me just say this though: white people usually at your age look like shit.
Yeah.
They look like lizards, and you look great.
At 47,
maybe
lizards?
it's your mustache. Maybe it's your mustache too.
No, you can just let it be. You don't have to qualify it.
All right. Well,
I mean, I can. I
look great though.
I would think the mustache would make me look older.
Yeah. So it's then why you in therapy?
Yeah, well, I was, but she was doing nothing. I got to go to a real therapist that's hip to the recovery shit and, you know, to these issues.
Yeah.
Like, you go to therapists, sometimes they'll just sit there.
Yeah.
And like, I'll just blather to anybody. And just because you go there and blather for 45 minutes a week, you think you're getting help, but I need real fucking help.
You don't
right
talk
now.
to Mishna anymore?
What are you, crazy?
I'm sorry.
How the fuck am I going to talk to her? I did everything I could in my power to spite her and hurt her. And now because of what just happened with me, I have so much more empathy for her.
I haven't seen her around at all.
She doesn't hang around anymore. She had a
move?
baby.
She had a baby?
She's married. She's got a baby.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Did she move out of L.A.?
No, she's here.
Oh.
They just bought a house. Like, I can keep track.
Well, congratulations, Mishna, for listening.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure this is the first thing she's doing is listening to my fucking show.
She could be.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Well.
No, it's all right, buddy. I can process this stuff.
Okay.
You know, it's just like it's like right when things are like going pretty well for me, like, and I feel like I'm doing a good job with stuff. All of a sudden, this muscle in my chest, this heart, gets me into all sorts of insanity, and I'm going to fucking other programs to try to fucking deal with it, dude.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the only way I know how to think, you know, and some people like if they're against the recovery or whatever, like if you're in recovery, whether or not you believe in God or whether or not, whatever the case, however.
Do you believe in God?
No, sometimes, not really. You know, I don't care that much.
But do you believe in like a omnipotent, some sort of power?
Well, I know there's some sort of structure to things, and I know that I don't have control of most things.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to have some faith in the fact that, like, you know, I can honestly say I'm powerless in the face of most things.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the structure of it enables me to see things in a way that makes sense to me, and that I can take actions, you know, that will, you know, be proactive as opposed to completely destructive.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
So that helps me out. But let's talk about.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but
no, I understand. Let's talk about your relapse. So here you go.
Okay, what happened was
you got MADtv. Fucking, you're it.
No, what happened was this. Okay, so you know, I do the Deepak Chopra thing. I get the commercial,
and you met Chopra.
Yeah, but it's a handshake.
Oh, you didn't hang out?
No.
Oh.
I went to I got the Tonight Show, Leno, right? And then I auditioned for Mad. I auditioned 9 times. I get the show.
Yeah.
Right? And then I get on the show, and the worst thing happened. What happened was, okay, let me just backtrack for a second.
Yeah.
Granted, I was sober for this whole time, right?
Yeah.
But when I moved to LA, I never went to a single meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anybody in the program up here, right? I was completely, I had no numbers.
Yeah.
So then I get on the show, and one of the producers basically said to me, "Listen, man, I was there during your auditioning process. I don't think you're a sketch guy, right? Mm-hmm. You're a stand-up, and I just don't think that you're going to fit in the structure of the show." Mm-hmm. He's telling me this guy.
After
he's a
you
producer.
got the show.
He's a producer.
They gave you the show, though.
Yeah. I mean, people above him.
Right. You're on, and this guy's like.
Well, I haven't been on yet, really.
But he's fucking with your head.
Yeah, and he's basically saying, like, listen, so I'm not really going to campaign for you. You know what I mean? So if you see that.
So welcome to your new job.
Yeah. So if you see that, right? So then then all these white kids get on the show, right?
Yeah.
Like there was a kid, Taron Killam, who's now on SNL, right?
Yeah.
Who got on the show with me. He was 18 at the time.
Yeah.
And a bunch of other white people. And over the next 2 years, right?
Yeah.
In the first season, I got like in 4 sketches.
Yeah.
Out of 23 weeks.
But you're getting paid.
Yeah, but Caliendo was on when I was on. He was on every week, 3 or 4 times a week. You know what I mean? No one would write for me.
Right.
And shortly after I got on the show, I just started taking Valiums because I couldn't sleep.
Because you're just festering about.
Dude, every day I'd show up to work, no one would talk to me. Mike McDonald, who's a very, very good friend of mine now, wouldn't talk to me. Ari Spears, I didn't talk to him for 3 years.
Yeah.
And there was this group, like this senior thing.
Click.
click.
Yeah.
And I didn't do impressions. I had maybe one character.
Yeah.
I had no idea why I was on the show. So it got to the point where I was like, I want to get off of this thing.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me go because of this, this ethnic program that Fox had at the time. This lady named Wenda Fong was heading up the diversity section.
Right.
And I was the only Asian guy on a show on Fox.
Right.
So I'm now stuck in a nightmare. You know what I mean? What?
They just kept you around for some affirmative action reason?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I know this.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in this thing. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to get loaded. So I took Valiums and it immediately Vicodin and immediately like drinking 24 hours a day. And this occurred for 2 years.
And you still didn't get on the show?
No. In fact, my second season was worse. It was like they had Josh Myers, Seth Meyers' little brother, who's a friend of mine, got on the show, Ike Barinholtz, these Second City guys.
Yeah.
And they just took over. And there was another Mexican girl that was on the show at the time, Jill Michelle Melian. I don't know if you know her.
And Deborah Wilson.
She was already a senior member.
Yeah.
She was always nice to me.
I knew her back in New York. She's sweet.
Yeah, she's a sweet lady. So then, for 2 years, I didn't get on. And by the end of my second season, Fox gave me intervention because I just stopped showing up to work. You know?
Yeah.
And they gave me an intervention, and what happened was I was taking 30 Vicodins a day, drinking and stuff, and just Fox gave me an intervention.
Where do you get that shit?
There was a sketch guy. I can't tell you his name, but he was from Second City, from Chicago.
Yeah.
Who was hanging around.
Yeah.
And he was my supplier. Supplier. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so.
No blow, huh?
No. But I was spending like, $600-700 a week, $800 a week.
That's a big habit.
Yeah, but I was getting a weekly.
No oxys?
No. So what happened was Fox gave me intervention. They told me, we're going to give you another shot, one shot. We wrote this, the writers wrote you a sketch, a Connie Chung sketch.
Yeah.
Can you clean up so we can do this sketch?
Yeah.
So 2 days before.
Do you think they knew that the reason why you were fucking self-destructing was you weren't being used? And then
it was a combination of a lot of things.
But all of a sudden you get a sketch on the condition of cleaning up? Was that?
They were trying to do me. But at that point it was too late. And also I'm done. I'm lost.
Yeah. I
don't even know who I am at this point. You know what I mean? I'm fucking sad, bro.
Yeah.
So I on a Thursday, Duncan Trussell, you know Duncan?
Yeah.
And at the time he was dating this girl named Stephanie Escajeda.
I know Escajeda too. Yeah.
So they come to my house in Silver Lake, and Duncan wants my Vicodin. Because I tell him I got to get rid of this because I'm just shooting a sketch tomorrow. So he takes my Vicodin. They make me a fish dinner because I hadn't eaten in days. You know what I mean? I eat this. I wake up the next day and I'm not feeling right. Like I'm shitting myself, right? So I take some Imodium AD, right? I show up to work. And I'm fine now, right? I'm shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sweating cold sweats.
Yeah.
But I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can do this. I memorized my lines. So they put the Connie Chung makeup on my face.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm fine. This is good. Right? I'm going to kill it. Right?
Yeah.
They put me in the dress.
Yeah.
Right? I show up at the set, live studio audience.
Yeah.
Right? And Ari Spears is in the sketch next to me.
Yeah.
Right? He's playing, I don't know, some black rapper or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And I hear, and now I feel not right when I'm on the set.
Yeah.
Like I feel my organs, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Punching each other.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm sweating.
Yeah.
And I'm shaking. Like I've never,
You withdrawal.
I'm withdrawing.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden they say, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. The lights turn on in the studio. I see 350 people.
Yeah.
Cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you can already tell something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because my eyes are crossed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
And my face is so wet from moisture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then I go, good evening. Right?
Yeah.
I'm Connie. Right? And as I say Connie, just my asshole opens up and it just sprays shit all down my stockings. Right? So good evening, and you could shh. Ari Spears goes, oh, motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like he smells it.
Yeah.
Oh, motherfucker, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as soon as I hear, oh, motherfucker, they cut. It's the wardrobe coming, producers.
Oh my God.
Right? And now the poor wardrobe ladies have to wipe with these wet naps my soiled stockings.
Yeah.
And Dick Lasucci, the executive producer, walks up and he's screaming at me.
Yeah.
You're going to do it. You're going to finish this. Right? This 3-minute sketch took an hour and a half to film. I mean, in spite of how sick I was.
And how long did it stink?
It just kept coming out, but they stopped. It stunk the whole time. What are you talking about? It was awful.
That is one of the worst fucking stories I've ever heard in my life.
So this is what happens.
Yeah.
After the show,
yeah,
I'm shaking.
Yeah.
And I'm packing my dressing room because it's the last show, right? And no one says goodbye to me. Everyone knows that I'm done. I pack up my stuff, and that's when I had a spiritual awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I had hit my own new bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so the next day I went to a detox.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out, and I started going to meetings. And what happened was one of the producers, which I either knew or didn't know, was in the program.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw me at the meetings.
Yeah.
So then her husband, became my sponsor.
Right.
And so during the summer, I got Harold and Kumar, that little part in that movie.
Yeah.
And I started doing, a lot of stand up and stuff. And she told Fox, like, this guy is really trying to get clean. He's been going to a lot of meetings. My husband's sponsoring him. Because at that point, fans of MADtv started kind of liking me.
Yeah.
Like, I was starting getting letters like, where's that Asian guy? And
Yeah.
him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I came back, after a trial, 6-month trial, whatever, and I stayed on it for 8 years. For 6 more years after that.
And you stayed clean the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time.
Holy fuck, that's a great story.
Yeah. But it was like, and you know what? When I got on, when I was sober, the same thing happened. But
you shit your pants on camera?
No.
Oh.
They weren't writing much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I stayed in. Like, instead of, like, being defeated and leaving. Like,
now, what's the process? You couldn't come up with ideas and say, come on, you guys.
I would pitch things and they'd be like, it's hacky, or it's been done, or whatever. You know what I mean?
But was this coming down from that producer, or was it just ingrained?
He started liking me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As soon as I got clean, I think people started seeing that I was giving it a good go. You know what I mean?
You did some funny shit on there.
No, I know. I eventually, when I had Power, which is season 4 for me, is when I kind of realized, I'm one of the guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, people are starting to like me.
Right.
And at that point, it was all good. Like, I was able to write my own things. You know what I mean? I had a team of writers.
Yeah.
Like Michael Hitchcock and guys that would, like, write for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Jennifer Joyce and some of these, old Groundlings guys.
Yeah.
The Second City people didn't really necessarily write for me, but the Groundlings guys really took a liking to me.
Now, is that two distinct camps?
Yeah.
I mean, they have different beliefs about what should and shouldn't happen?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I think Second City is, like, they're really into improv and long form.
Right.
They're really into the actual writing of it. Groundlings are more into character development and stuff like that. And I think that they saw that I had some thought out characters.
Yeah, and also, once you lock into something, I mean, you lock in.
Yeah, and I think they saw that, and there were some sweethearts like Jennifer Joyce, who was just sympathetic to the idea that I was, showing up and trying. Yeah. And they started trying, you know what I mean?
That's sweet.
Yeah.
And what happened now when you stopped doing the show? Is that you just had enough, or everybody had enough?
It got canceled.
It's not on TV anymore?
No.
Oh.
It was canceled years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then after it was done, I couldn't work, really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, my TV, it just all dried up.
Right, I think, when was that? When did it get canceled?
2 years ago.
And what have you been doing the last couple of years?
No, it started coming back, but the next year, the following year, that's why I went on the road, because I just couldn't. I pay 2 mortgages. I pay for my parents' house in Phoenix.
You do?
Yeah, and I pay for my own. And I needed the income, so I just hit the road 3 weeks out of the month.
And what's going on now?
I did some movies. I did a movie with Simon Pegg, called Paul. I did Harold and Kumar 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm on Chelsea every other week, which completely changed everything around.
Yeah, you drawing because of that?
Well, I was drawing from Mad, but that just, it's like magical, almost. You add another 100 to a show.
No shit.
Yeah. I was going on the road looking at Joe Coy's numbers, especially him, because he is Asian, and he didn't have the TV exposure that I did, but he was doing better numbers. And he's a hilarious guy, but it was a lot because of Chelsea, so I
That was the show I turned down immediately out of pride. Right when she got the show, they asked me to be on. I was like, nah.
Why?
Well, at that time, I had my own petty resentments about it.
Would you do it now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think you'd be great on that show.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm given topics, I can generate.
Yeah. You can totally do it.
Oh, should I?
I think you should.
Put in a good word for me.
I will.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try it if they want me to.
I think they're obviously aware of you, and I think that you should. I mean, dude, you think I sit there with Dove David. Some Dove does it sometimes, and it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? I don't know about pop culture.
Yeah, me neither. I barely know who you are.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who I am. You know what I mean? There you go. That's the thing that you do. I love it. It's like a warm blanket, isn't it? I love it. But you waited for a half an hour, which is great. You know what I mean? A half an hour of just like, oh, Mark really likes me. You know what I mean? No. He's interested. And
but you're part of pop culture. Like, I see you as part of...
I'm not a part of pop culture. I'm on the outskirts.
Okay.
I am.
Well, then that just I wasn't really that much
Ken Jeong, he's a part of pop culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you jealous of Ken Jeong?
No.
He's a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
He's on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was on my Vicodin withdrawal, he was the guy I called every fucking 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Because Ken and I have been friends for many, many years.
Back when he started, or when he showed up here?
When he was, even before, I went to his wedding, but even before he married Tran, I knew him, even before he had kids and all that stuff. We did a tour called The Kims of Comedy.
Oh, you were on that. Okay.
Yeah, with me, Ken, Steve Byrne, and Kevin Shea, which is Korean.
So you were calling him when you were like that day in the studio?
the week. No. Well, I was calling him a week before because I was thinking about getting off it.
Yeah.
He was telling me, what do I need to do? He's like, I think you should go to a fucking place. I go, I can't, this and that. So that day, Thursday, when Duncan came over, is that 24 hours.
Yeah.
He was very vital.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just getting you through it.
Yeah.
Knowing you weren't dying.
Yeah. He's like, you're fine. You know what I mean?
So now this is like your third wind almost. So now you're selling out what, theaters or clubs? What are you playing?
Just clubs. I'm doing San Jose tomorrow.
5 shows?
5 shows tomorrow, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's fine. I'm done. You know what I'm done with, bro?
What?
I'm done with like trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it.
Well, being fueled by the panic that you're not, you mean? Like being fueled by the panic, like by trying to make it, like, you feel like you've proven yourself enough?
No, I just feel like there is no rhyme or reason to people's success sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And I just feel like it's a part of just one's destiny.
Uh-huh.
And if it's not a part of, like, I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm making a great living.
Yeah.
But if that's, you know what I mean, what my destiny is, and because I've tried my best, and I still try very hard.
Yeah.
But if I make the effort, I don't want to, like, beat myself up because I'm not at the level where, like, a Seth Rogen type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I've done, I have great agents. I'm with CAA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have the best opportunities in the world, but I'm still not Nick Swartzen. I'm not Zach.
Right.
I'm kind of still on the outskirts, you know what I mean? And there's, Cameron Crowe, because you're almost famous. I went in and met with him for his new movie, and he really liked me, but I didn't get the part, obviously. And I'm in those situations a lot.
But that's good.
But you can't. I drive away. I can't get them. You know what I mean? I don't get those.
Yeah, but that's just the nature of that game. Everyone goes down on the people that are in that racket. They don't even think about auditions anymore as being life or death situations. You just keep going, and then if all it takes is one to hit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is that I don't instead of getting an acting coach and 2 days before an audition, you know what I mean, and worrying about an audition.
Yeah, I
just kind of read the thing. I understand the scene. I go in. I don't even memorize it.
Right.
I read it off the page.
Right.
I do the best I can, and I walk away. And so that's where I'm at now. You know
that's good, man. Well, you seem very well. I'm serious. I wasn't passive aggressive.
Where's there good to eat around here?
What do you want to eat?
I'm so hungry.
Mexican?
No, I don't want to do Mexican. There was like an Italian restaurant down the street that I drove by, like Italianos or something like that. Was that place good or no?
Oh, the pizza place?
Yeah. Is it okay or?
We'll go get something to eat.
Okay. I'm so hungry.
It's good talking to you.
I'm good talking to you.
So how do you feel? That was Bobby Lee, and I think we all worked through something together with him, and I thought that was a fine way to start off the new year. I hope you enjoyed that in all its stinky glory. Thank you for listening. I'm excited. We're locked in. We're doing this 2011 thing. We're going to do it. We're in it. Got no choice. 2011. JustCoffee.coop at WTFpod.com. Go down there. Take a little trip to WTFpod.com. Kick in a few bucks to the cause. We run this show. We are listener supported, so we could use a few shekels. New merchandise, pretty new American Apparel shirts. If you go to the merch, get on that mailing list. I've been very diligent about that. Holy shit, I got to do it today. Okay, yeah. What else? Well, Happy New Year, okay? Or let's have a good day today and tomorrow, and then we'll see how the rest of it goes. Oh yeah, Sacramento Punchline, January 7th, 8th, and 9th. Come up to the Sacramento Punchline if you live in that area. January 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay, I'll talk to you Thursday or whenever you listen to these. Oh, my God.